watching. Hey guys, we're back. Got a little bit of a break from my Buick project. I wanted to come over here to Jason's and show you guys what he's working on. So I know you've probably seen his 73 Super Beetle in a couple of my YouTube shorts and heard me cussing and hollering or whatever, complaining about imports for good reason because I don't buy them. But anyway, Jason's going to kind of give you a little rundown of his project, what he's got going on here, and I think you guys will enjoy it. So go ahead, Jason. Let us know what's going on.
So I have this 73 Super Beetle, and I had it running, and we did a cheesy little burnout on Smoking Eagle's Rod Shop, and it was kind of fun. But we kind of thought, like, why not just make it a serious burnout car?
Yeah.
You know, I don't drive this thing every day. I don't have to drive this thing every day. So why not hot rod it up a little bit? You know, something more than 30 horsepower. So I have another friend that's kind of into Volkswagens, and he started pointing out other Volkswagen engines to me. And lo and behold, they make a VR6 that is actually a V6, but it's in shape like a regular, like, inline 4, and it's not very big. So this is a 2.8 liter VR6. It's the 12 valve variety. They make an adapter plate to hook it to the transaxle, and you can just bolt it right in. Well, I mean, some cutting. Got to cut some stuff out of the way. So, bolted this guy in. Got some turbo manifold for it. Got a big WOG intake. But this thing should be good for about 300, 400 horsepower, and just about as much torque. These little 6-cylinders are really torquey. So this should make a really cool burnout car.
That's cool. So how many horsepower is this thing stock before you start bolting on all this aftermarket crap?
It's only about 200 horse stock, but it's 200. It's also 200 foot-pounds of torque, which is
okay.
So these are really torquey.
Kind of like the motor in the Buick, where it's like 300 horse and like 400 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah.
It's got a good balance there between the torque and the horsepower.
Yeah, and for a 6-cylinder, it's very compact. It's very small. So I'm not really adding a ton of weight to the back end. I'm adding more weight than a stock engine to the back end, but I'm not per se adding like a V8 to the back end of the car.
So I know a lot of guys are doing LS swaps. That's like the big thing now. So this has got a lot of wires on it. My Buick's got like 3, and I only need like 1, right?
Yeah.
So what kind of electrical system are you doing in this thing? What's your game plan there?
Yeah, so the game plan is to go like full standalone ECU. I got a Holley HP because that just seems to be universally good for everything. And then I went coil on plugs. I have big 42-pound injectors.
Here, I'll get the camera over here so you guys can check this stuff out.
Yeah, so we got big coil on plugs. We got big injectors. Got a big old throttle body. I'm trying to get the throttle position sensor on it right now because I got to have one of those to make that work.
Yep. So
But
you're missing a couple of bolts. Got to run to the shop for the 50th trip to the hardware store.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, the engine's very similar to a LS in that it has the crank sensor. The crank sensor on it is actually a 60-2 or a 58 tooth wheel, and it has a 4-position cam sensor on it too. So it's basically like an LS. The ECU is going to see it the same. So all you really have to know is where top dead center on 1 is, and other than that, it knows what to do. So that's pretty cool. It's actually a really easy engine to connect to a Holley. I mean, people.
So you're using the Holley system here?
Yeah. So the Holley system is like the most universal.
Yep. Okay.
So it does that. I have the injectors, an injector harness. I have a coil harness, and right now I need the motor in the car so I can do the sensor harness for my coolant temp, my intake air temp, my intake air pressure, my fuel pressure, my oil pressure. And once I have those wired, then I can start working on getting it to fire up for the first time.
Cool.
Eventually we'll probably put a turbo on it, but right now probably just run it without the turbo to start with, just to get it running, just to make sure that it actually will fire and go. But yeah, that's the plan. And big smoky burnouts. So that's the other plan.
So these things were air cooled originally. and this obviously takes coolant and a couple other things that the factory car didn't have. So what kind of game plan you got for that?
So these things have what's known as a crack pipe, and it's a long pipe, and it runs down the intake side of the engine. It connects to the water pump.
Yep.
And then it connects to a housing that then goes to the radiator.
Okay.
But in this application, I need this extra one to come around to this little swirler tank.
Ah, okay. So you got a fill tank up here at the top.
Yeah, so my coolant comes in there, it comes out the top, it comes back in the head, and that gives me a new high point so that then I can mount the radiator flat and underneath the car, basically up in the front.
Okay, so you're going to run the radiator up front and...
Yep.
Okay.
So there's a lot of like little things that you got to get done to make these engines manageable. Another one is way over here on this side.
Yep. If
you can look down inside there.
We can get down in here. Yep.
I can see down in there. I basically got rid of the fuel filter cartridge, and then I also got rid of the coolant to oil cooler so that I can go to an air to oil cooler, and I can go to a regular can type filter. And that also gives me my ports on the top so that I can so that I can get oil to a turbo, and I can get pressure and all that stuff.
Okay, so your intake comes out here and it's gonna run around.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the blow off.
Okay.
For the turbo, and then turbo housing T3, T4.
Wow, so we're gonna have to move a firewall back and make a bunch of space in here for all that stuff.
Yeah, and also if you come back here, you can see there's a bar that is connected across shock to shock that's connected across to make it stronger.
Okay, yep. So you got lots of support in there to help hold this thing on there.
And then there's a bar that's going to come down from here down to here.
Yep.
Which we'll kind of triangulate in all that.
Try and tie it all together for the horsepower.
So that it doesn't flex so much and just blow up.
That sounds really cool. It's a lot of work. I've been helping a little bit here and there with some stuff at the shop. So
you'll see some of those videos coming up soon.
Yep. Look at this, guys. Jason's like steady working in the middle of the video. He's like, he's on the time crunch. Dude. So the big thing, guys, I guess the reason I came over here is A, I think it's a really cool project. B, you guys know Jason from some other videos around the shop, and I know a lot of people like these Volkswagen Beetles and some of the kind of funny banter I give Jason about imports and stuff like that of that nature. So he actually, just joking around, we went to Cleetus and Cars last year in Indy, and we were like, man, we should build a car on our YouTube channel, take it there, blah, 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 and joking around, and the registration went live. Of course, he just threw the registration in there, and they accepted the Beetle. And it didn't have an engine in it.
We don't have an engine in the thing, and we're in a burnout contest in 2 months. In 2 months, we've got
he's got 2 months to get this thing strapped together. I told him, I said, man, I got plenty of tools and stuff at the shop, so any help you need, we got a lift. That'll make things a little bit easier on you. And so I think things we're going to do at our shop,
lots of
old Smoking Eagles main headquarters there. We do firewall, welding, fabbing, floor pans. We got some new floor pans for it, final install, some stuff. Anything he needs help with, basically we're going to drag this thing over. Yeah, we can test on my little cement pad out front, the redneck burnout pad. And it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. Don't know if he's going to make it or get it bolted together in time, but it's worth a shot, right? Because why not? Worst case scenario is we all have fun and there's tire smoke somewhere. Yeah. Whether it's in Indy or it's in my driveway or it's
New Paris on a Saturday night
at the junkyard when they light this thing on fire when we crush it. I don't know. But anyway, guys, follow along. I hope you enjoy all the content that's going to be coming.
It's definitely crunch time. We definitely got to go.
Lots of fabricating and things like that. So I'm going to quit harassing Jason so he can get back to work on some stuff. But anyway, we will catch you guys later and keep on wrenching. Peace.
Woohoo. Thank you. I just looked at this bolt hole.